Heartsong Patrick is his name. His mama is Heartsong. She was the first llama that I purchased for the farm, and that's why I have named the podcast, at least my first podcast, after her and after the name of our llama farm. So it's Heartsong Fit is the podcast, and I talk about ways to de-stress from your busy work day, things that you can do that help your mindset and help the health of your body, just healthy ways to deal with stress. And I really enjoy like walking with the llamas and just enjoying the trails here on our farm. These guys are great companions for that kind of thing. Lily is over here. She too is chewing her cud. Actually, they all are. You can see Primary Colors is the one closest to the grooming chute, which is that green structure. And that's Heartsong. The black and white llama is behind Primary Colors. So she is the mama of this llama right here, Patrick. Hey, thanks for joining. I'm just sharing a little bit of time here with the llamas. So if you're looking for the hike with a couple of, it's a couple different hikes that I had done with Heartsong. Episode 4 is a hike with Heartsong, and then later in the podcast, I don't remember the number of it, I think it might be 16 or 17, is also a hike out on the trail where I took my handheld recorder with me and talked about what I was seeing along the trail, described the creek and the woods and what the llamas are seeing. They're very, very observant. They do not miss anything. So they're a great way actually to catch the wildlife around you. The pretty brown llama behind me, that is Miss SVL Lovely Lana. She's one of our show llamas. Lily is a show llama that belongs to one of my 4-H students, Lindsay. Lily was born here on the farm and she now boards here. Hi, Lily. You're a pretty girl. So I'll answer the question that I get asked probably most often. How are llamas different from alpacas? They are in the same family. They're all camelids. Llamas are about twice the size of an alpaca. Now, it's hard to tell right now because most of these guys are cushing. That is the position they're in when they are have their legs folded up underneath them and they're on their belly, like what you can't even see Patrick's legs because he's got them underneath. That's how they rest, and you'll find them in this position quite a bit. Llamas also have ears that are about twice the length of an alpaca, and their muzzles are longer. They do have a slightly smaller fiber. The micron count represents the size of the fiber, and it's a little bit smaller with alpaca, which can make them a tad bit softer. But honestly, when you'd have to see that under a microscope, when you're feeling nice llama fiber next to nice alpaca fiber, it's really very similar. So we have our llama fiber out on our Etsy shop as yarn and roving for people who like to hand spin. I shear their coats in the springtime, in the late spring. And just once a year, now of our show llamas, I will also re-shear their show cuts a couple of weeks before we go to a show. But we're here in Indiana where the weather is quite cold, and it's actually supposed to get really cold later in the week. So I don't shear them much past the month of August. By shearing them once a year, that gives the llama enough time to regrow their coat so that it's an appropriate length for shearing it again the next year. Thank you. I appreciate you saying he is gorgeous. We think he is too. He was born here on our farm in 2012. So he's a little over 4 years, just barely over 4 years old. He was born in September of 2012. And his mama, she's moved. She's not in the scene anymore. She's the black and white llama named Heartsong. I think you can see her behind. And this is his friend Lily right here. Hi, Lily. And Lana is the dark brown llama who's standing up, and you see Primary Colors. We have 13 llamas here on the farm. We actually own 14. One is being free leased right now, so she's at another farm. And This llama is boarding, so she lives here, but she belongs to another family. What do they eat? They love forage, so they are browsers and grazers, which means they love to eat different kinds of grass. We usually feed a mix hay that's a grass mix, so it has timothy and orchard grass in it, a little bit of alfalfa and clover, but not very much. These guys put on weight pretty easily here in the lush ground of Indiana, so we are careful not to overfeed them. Yeah, very similar to a horse diet. That's right. And I do have a couple of horses here as well. Well, I'm going to sign off because I'm starting to freeze. It's really cold here. My name is Vicki Maris, and if you do want to find my podcast episodes where you can learn about the llamas, that's Heartsong Fit with Vicki Maris out at iTunes. Take care.